Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mind Your Mental, a podcast that seeks to educate, empower, and uplift those seeking guidance through the monumental world of mental health. I'm your host, Raquel Martin, a PhD candidate in medical and clinical psychology. This podcast is not meant to be a substitute for a relationship with a licensed mental health clinician. Thank you so much for tuning into the show, and I hope you enjoy it. What up, everyone? All right. Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Mental. Today, we got another M3 bite-sized episode, 15 minutes. Help you on your commute. Man, I wish my commute was 15 minutes, dude. It definitely is not. So today, I wanted to talk about the power of support and the power of friendship or family members and things like that. And this was on my mind because, honestly, I have been having a lot of guilt lately about the fact that I don't think I have been being the best friend that I could be. And it's not a conscious choice. It's really just because I'm really, really tired all the time. And I'm adjusting because I think I have a new life now, right? I am married, which isn't that new. Actually, it is new. We've only been married for 2 years, but I'm a mom now. And I am just so tired. And I used to be the person whose phone was constantly charged, like always. It used to freak me out when people didn't have their phone charged. I can't even find my phone half the time. For real. My ringer is always off because I never know when Russell is going to fall asleep on me. And God forbid we wake my little boss up because Jesus be offense. So with that, I just feel like I haven't been talking to my friends as much as I would like to. I haven't been calling them as much. It takes me forever to respond to text messages. And I feel awful about it. Like I feel that because I am a firm believer that my friends are my family. They're my family of choice. I feel like you have your family of origin, the family you were born into, and my friends are my family of choice. So not being able to talk to them as much, it hurts. But I find that I don't think when I'm going through something, I don't think I'm the only person who's going through it. I think there are so many people going through that. So what I wanted to do is talk about the impact of strong relationships, and bonds and things like that, and the evolution of friendship really, really quick, because I think it's a very uplifting thing. I'm all about girl power. I don't know if we're allowed to say girl power anymore. I don't know if I'm allowed to call people girls anymore, but woman power. Okay, please. And there's nothing like having that strong bond with other people, period. It keeps me going. And my friends are my sounding board to let me know when I'm being rational, or more often when I am being irrational, when I'm just tripping. They lift me up. They help me with my newfound mom guilt. And it's great to be surrounded by so many amazing women who I honestly look up to. There's not one friend that I don't look up to for one or more facets of how they handle themselves as people and things like that. And we often, as mental health clinicians, we look to make sure our patients have social support, whether that's friends or family members, because we are well aware of how social support can impact the way you deal with difficult events. If you remember our first M3 moment, I talked about social support and outlets for frustration, helping you to deal with the stress that you're dealing with. And there's nothing like forming that bond and having someone to talk to. But it's not always that easy. How do you find time for your friends when you are part of the mama mafia now, when you have a husband who needs your attention or a wife who needs your attention, when you have a child or children that need your attention, when your job is improving? And one way I think you can do that, if anyone else is struggling with this, is to be open about where you are in your life right now with your friends. And don't feel bad about apologizing. Like, I apologize all the time. Like, y'all, I'm sorry. I suck at responding now. I am in a current space in life where I have not come up for air. And I really appreciate y'all for still wanting to be my friend. It's great to have people who understand where you are and get it. I've been saying lately, there is this balance I have to do now between being a mom and a wife. right? And I joke a lot like, how was I today as a mom? I was awesome. How was I today as a wife? Adequate. And you know what, guys? Sometimes it be that way. And it's awful because I'm still trying to find that balance. It's not awful because that's just how life is. But balancing that between being a mom and a wife and a friend, I think it's easy to be a bad friend. It is hard to be a good friend because being a good friend takes more time and energy. And it's not that I don't want to be a good friend. It's just that I have just been sucking at it lately. In my opinion, my friends would tell me, no, you're not. But that's how I feel because I feel like I'm not able to be as present or talk to people as much as I want to. And social support is so important. So I feel that some individuals struggle with ways to find friends, to find that bond between others. It's good if you can talk to people at your job and you feel like that transitions into work or trying to find common interests. There's this app called Meetup, and you can meet up with people just because of an interest. Like, I love Family Guy. Let's meet and talk about Family Guy. I love The Office. Let's meet and talk about The Office. There's meetup groups for Black people. There's meetup groups for people of the Latinx community. There's meetup groups for a certain area. And it really is just meetup.com. That's helpful. When I became a mom, I joined Mocha Moms, which is an organization for Black moms or moms of color. That was helpful to me because there's so much I go through thinking about as a mom rearing a Black man. He is a boy now, but as we know, children that are of color are not looked at as children for long. So I was stressing out about that. Social media is a good way. Well, sometimes it's a good way to find friends. I'm always in awe of the fact that one of the podcasts I listened to, The Read, they found each other over social media and they're amazing together and they're also friends. So that can be possible. If you are having friends that you had for such a long time, one of the things you may also be struggling with in terms of having friends is that sometimes you outgrow people. We are not meant to be the same all our entire lives, right? We grow. That's one of the amazing things. The only thing constant in life is change. And you may not have it in you to, I don't know, twerk for like every Friday or Saturday night or whatever. I saw this meme. What is it called? Like Megan Thee Stallion knees. I thought that was amazing because I feel like every time I see someone comment, it's people my age that just being like, nope, ain't got them. I ain't got them. I ain't have them. Leave that to kiddos. And sometimes that is hard for you to acknowledge when it's someone you've been friends with forever. And now they're just not part of the light that you're leading. And it's not because you feel like they're not a good person. It's just because you feel like they don't really fit in with who you are anymore. And I think there's a couple of ways to deal with this. One, you can address this with the person, and don't walk up to them saying like, you're not the kind of person I want in my life anymore. That's insane. Actually, you know what? No, because some people, it depends on how you receive stuff. Some people may receive that well. Some people may be like, okay, well, talk to me more about that. I do think a lot of people won't. So I think there's another way to word that. I think therapy or talking to someone who gets it can help you figure out how to do that. But you do have to address that, right? Because it's one thing to be a bad friend or not have time in your life for certain things at times and like miss phone calls and stuff like that. It's another thing to avoid them and make somebody feel crappy about it. When I'm missing phone calls and stuff like that, I do try to text people back and tell them I'm sorry. And do try to let people know, like, or schedule a call. Like, I've gotten into the thing of trying to schedule calls now, putting them on my schedule because then that will happen. Schedule a call, like, can I get back to you? It's another thing to just keep avoiding someone's calls and being a butt about it because you're like, you don't fit into my life anymore. Have a conversation with them about that. It's not going to be easy. I don't know why anyone thinks change is going to be easy. Growth is not easy. Like, and growth has never really been easy in most people's life, right? Like, think about it. Children, you're growing teeth. That's painful. You learn how to walk. You fall on your butt. That's painful. Like, you outgrow your clothes. You wearing high waters. That's annoying. That's painful. Growth is not meant to be easy. Growth is meant to be growth. Okay. And that often shies people away from it. Evolution was time consuming for the world. So why should it take a day for you? It shouldn't. So growth is going to take time, and deciding that maybe a person can't be in your life, it's going to be difficult. But you do have to acknowledge that because it's worse not like talking to the person about it. So don't avoid them because I think we do outgrow individuals. And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it, but try to be honest with the person. How do you broach that conversation? can you do other things with a friend? If it's just the fact that you don't want to go partying with them, just be like, hey, this is not a part of my life anymore. I can go to one party a quarter, and I do need to be home by 2. If you want, and then let that be a boundary. And if they invite you out, be like, okay, girl, it's September. Do you want this to be the party I go to all year? Because New Year's Eve is coming up too. So it's either this or New Year's Eve. You get one. You don't get multiple parties from me. I just need to let you know that. Or if you feel like they're doing something that doesn't really vibe with who you are as a person, be open about that. Be like, hey, I just feel like so-and-so that you're doing doesn't really fit with who I am or who I'm trying to be. And I'm not asking you to change. It's not for me to ask you to change, but I'm telling you that I have to change. And with that, I think I can't spend as much time with you as I used to be able to. Or just being like, y'all, I'm sorry. I just have a lot going on right now. I'm sorry I can't be as present, but I will let you know when I can be more present. And good friends will honor that and support that. Good friends will understand that because we're all going through things, and we ain't teens no more, right? Like, we're not going through life. We're not looking for relationships when, like, the only thing you have to do is like meet up in school and, hang out. That's great if you're in that walk of life, but that's not where I am. That is not where a lot of people are. A lot of people are dealing with long distance friendships or long distance relationships and balancing work and school and children and extracurricular activities and health and wellness and trying to, like, make baby bottles and food prep and go to the gym and be a good husband and be a good child and be a good mother and just be a good person. And it's hard. And you can't have everything all the time. You just can't. So being open with your friends about that, and they could be like, cool, girl, I get that. I totally understand. How they may even offer to help you. But I think it's important to talk about it, acknowledge this, because I do think social support is so important. I don't know what I would do without my friends. Building these strong bonds that I've had over years, and our friendships have adjusted. There are people that I used to talk to every single day, and now I talk to them maybe once a week. And I got to tell you, I still feel that strong bond with them. And I think they still feel that strong bond with me. I think that they understand because they've adjusted, because they can't be on the phone 50 hours a day, right? They get it. Good friends understand that. I think any healthy relationship is built off of trust, whether that's romantic or whether that is a friendship. It's built off of trust. So have that trust and feel comfortable talking to your friends about it. Be comfortable talking to them about boundaries that you've set. If they keep pushing that boundary and they're not acknowledging that, then maybe it's time for you to realize that they can't be in your life. It's not like just a break. It might be the breakup of a friendship. Yes, these conversations are difficult, but mental health isn't just about the mental health disorders. It's about also maintaining your wellness and well-being. And if setting a boundary, which often the time is necessary to maintain this well-being, is necessary way too many times, you need to set that. And a good friend will understand that. Okay? Healthy relationships are built on trust. Open communication. It's great to have someone that you can talk to about a sounding board. But I heard something amazing yesterday when I was at a training. It's the difference between having an open, reciprocal communication and then just dumping all your slime on someone. So I was doing a trauma training because I work with traumatized children, individuals who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder and stuff. And we are all dealing with this in my office. So we're all dealing with really, really difficult cases. And this therapist said, before you need to ask if you're able to like slime all over people. So old school Nickelodeon, they had that slime game where you're just like dumping slime on someone. And some people you just walk into the office like, can I slime all over you? Which basically means I had a really, really tough session. I really just need to like brain dump this on you. Like, is it okay? And the person can say yes or no. They can say, yes, I totally get it. I'm actually having a pretty good morning. Feel free to slime all on me. They can also say no, like, hey, I just had a really tough session myself and I really need these 5 minutes between my next really tough session to recalibrate and be like more positive for this next person. So I can't have it. And that's okay. Relationships are also meant to be reciprocal. So it's a difference between having someone to vent to and they can vent to you, or just having someone that you just slime all over. You need to be mindful of that. Don't just slime all over someone. This sounds pretty gross, but I really do like the analogy. So I'm just going to keep using it. Healthy relationship is give and take. Friendship, romantic relationship, everything. And really good friendships are just like romantic relationships. I often say if you had to dissect your romantic relationship from your friendship, your really good friendship. When I look at my relationship between my best friends and my husband, the only difference in that relationship regarding support and how I feel about the person is just like the sexual aspect of it. That's the only difference, because both of my husband and my best friends, they support me. We support one another. I want to be there for them. I love them. The biggest difference is just like, the making out and stuff like that. I'm not making out with my best friends. That's just not how we are. So when you think about it, the same thing you think you look for in, not the same thing, but the qualities or something that you may be looking for in a romantic relationship, and maybe that's not something that you're finding, see if you can fill that space by having a supportive friendship. And I don't mean fill that space meaning you need someone to be around you 24/7, but maybe the thing that you are lacking, maybe the thing that you feel like you're missing isn't actually a romantic relationship. Maybe you just need a good friend that you can hang out with like maybe once a week. Maybe they can fill that gap for you and you can feel support in that way, because I am well aware. I've been with my husband for 9 years. We've been married for 2. I am well aware, as I am often told, that the dating world is not what it was when I met my husband. And you can be alone and not lonely. And that's possible. But you can also be kind of lonely sometimes. And social support can really help that. So if you're having difficulty finding a romantic relationship, maybe you can try to find a new group of friends to talk to. Maybe you can find a new friendship, and maybe that can help you. Because there are going to be times in your life when you are able to find that strong romantic bond. But there may be a time where that is lacking right now, and where you just need to have someone to talk to. And I'm a firm believer that friends can be that too. You may not need a man or a woman. You may, but they don't have to be like your man or your woman. They may just be a friend. So maybe look at Meetup. Maybe try to spark up a conversation at the gym. All my natural girls out there, let me tell you something. I will talk to anyone about hair. Anyone. All you wonderful women in the mama mafia, which I will always call it the mama mafia, because I always knew that moms were amazing. My mom in particular is the most amazing woman I've ever met, but I didn't really grasp it until I became a member of the mama mafia. And y'all are amazing and supportive and wonderful. And that's the big thing to talk to other parents about and build bonds with. I have a whole mommy group that's like amazing and supportive, and our similarities, like we're all very different. We're all in different professions, but we all have children. So we're all very similar, if that makes sense. So, hopefully you got something out of this M3 moment. The overall thing is, social support is important. Friendships and relationships are important. And it is okay if you can't be a amazing friend every single second of the day. It's okay if you're kind of lacking, but be open and honest with your friends about that, and don't just ghost them. Be honest about like, I just need a separation for a moment, because sometimes self-care can also be having a moment to yourself. And if it's a choice between, answering a phone call that you're not really having the energy to be present with, or just sitting by yourself, ignore the phone call and then just say, hey, I'm exhausted. Can I call you tomorrow? Can we schedule a call? But social support is important. We don't live in a vacuum. We all deal with a lot of stressors, and it's really great to have that outlet for frustration. So reach out to someone. The person doesn't always have to be a romantic relationship. Friendships are there for you too. Soulmates don't always have to be your romantic partner. Soulmates can be your friends too. And for a lot of people, they are. They give you that push, and they help you, and they give you someone to look up to and surround yourself with, and things like that. I'm not saying look up to as in someone to revere. I'm saying look up to, saying you inspire me to want to do better. And I think that's great. So I hope you enjoy this M3 moment. This is, friendships are, food for the soul, just like romantic relationships can be. But reach out to your friend today. And I hope this inspired you to maybe reach out to someone new, to maybe try to find a friendship or build a stronger bond with someone that you do have, or hit someone up for just even a 10 to 15 minute phone call to just say, I was thinking about you. And I just wanted to check in and see how you were doing. Remember, the friendships and relationships are built on communication, trust, and just reciprocity. Don't slime all over someone unless they say it's okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this M3 moment. Went a little bit over today. I wanted to keep them to 15 minutes. We're at 20. We are airing bi-weekly on Thursdays, anywhere you can find a podcast. Also, we air bi-weekly on YV Radio. every other Monday. Raquel Martin, telling and reminding you to be kind to yourself. The world out there is difficult. You don't have to be hard on yourself. All right, guys, have a fantastic day.